morning, everybody, and welcome back to another segment of Quilting Quickies here at Pine Needles Quilt and Sew. We're so glad to be back with you once again this summer. So every other Monday there'll be a new installation of Quilting Quickies right here. Today we're going to show you how to do a really simple and easy Dresdan plate. I know this looks difficult, but it is not at all. And what we're going to start with is just simply a 7-inch strip of fabric. Now what you're going to want to do is probably each one of these starts out as 7 inches in here. Each one of these starts out as 7-inch strip. So you're going to want to maybe stack 2 or 3 together as you cut these. But for demonstration's sake today, I'm just going to use one fabric. So we're just going to take our fabric and we're going to cut a couple 7-inch strips. Oh my goodness, I have a 7-inch ruler. Couldn't be any easier than just to place it on here, cut one strip, or cut however many you need. Probably for this, if you want a variation, you're going to make several different kinds, but if you want one Dresdan plate of all one color, you just need to use one kind of fabric. So we're going to lay these together, and like I said, you can do 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 of these at a time. And we're just going to simply clean this up, cut off the salvages, and then the magic about this is this ruler. This is a 15-degree wedge to make these Dresdan plate fans, and you can make them all the way up to 12-13 inches. So that would make a really big plate. And 360 degrees, 15 goes into that 24 times. So to make this plate, to go all the way around in a circle, we're going to need 24. So simply, we know we have a 7-inch strip, and if you can see right here, you're going to line the 7 inches up on the bottom, and this blunt part is going to go at the top. Turn it over the right way would be helpful. 7 inches at the bottom. Scooch it up to this edge as good as you can. I'm going to cut one side, and I'm going to cut the other side. Now at home, I can get on the other side of my table to do this, so it's kind of hard to cut backwards. You might want to think about that. And then simply we have one, and then we're just going to go down here. You're not going to waste any fabric, and you're going to cut another, flipping the ruler back and forth as you go. And there we have them. So those are our wedges. Now, simple to do is what we're going to do is we're going to fold the big and right sides together, just like that. And then we're going to sew right along here. So once you get a whole bunch of them, you're going to take them to the sewing machine. And you're going to make a whole long strip like this. And I always start sewing on the cut edge and then sew towards the folded edge. So once we get these done, here's another little magic trick that I learned. And actually I just learned this at market when I came back from Minneapolis about a week ago. And this tricky little tool is by Susan Cleveland, and she's a local gal here outside of Rochester, and this is called the Prairie Pointer. And this is just a metal piece, but you can turn these right side out, and if you put them on here like this, line this up, and I'm going to do it this way so you can see, and then this is not a hot iron, this is just for example's sake, and you're going to iron that, and as you have the iron on there, you're going to pull that out and leave the iron set, and then you're going to do another one Just poke that out, makes it really simple. There's a line down here, you line that up, and then we'll press another one, pull this out, leave the iron sit, and do another one. So it goes. Absolutely, totally makes it so much easier. So once we have those all pressed, they look something like this. See the beginning of our plate? Simple enough is once you have those all done, you're going to sew them together in sets of 2s. And so sets of 2s, then sets of 4s, and then sets of 8s like this. And you'll end up with your Dresdan plate. Super simple. That doesn't take yet any time at all, even though you think it does. Now, when it's time to sew this down in the middle here, I don't do any, we just line them up along here. And you simply just, these are all finished, and you simply do a straight stitch all the way around. And this is where your freehand system works out really good so that you can make these pivot points all the way along with a straight stitch. That works really well. If you prefer to do a blanket stitch, you can as well. Now for the circle in the middle, we have a product called Heat and Bond, and it's paper on one side, and it's kind of this rough stuff on the other side. And this, when you set it down on a piece of fabric, this adheres to it. So what you're going to do to make your circle, and this is our circle cutting ruler from K England as well, but what I've done here is I've taken a piece of fabric and I've put the Heat and Bond on top, and then I've ironed it. You can see that it's totally stuck. And then what we want to do is take this ruler, and I want to do a 4.5 inch circle to go in the middle of here. And I'm just going to put this push pin right in the middle, and it goes right into your cutting mat. And then I'm going to put a pen in here at the 4.5 inch mark and simply twist that around. Easy as can be. Take this out. Oh, I know you're going to tell me that I didn't shut this cutter, so now I'm shutting the cutter a little bit late. Got a lot of comments last time that I forget to shut my cutter. I'm trying. And then what you actually do is you'll cut around this circle, and you'll end up with something that looks like this. And then like for this one, this is what I would put right in the middle of the circle. And then you just blanket stitch that one down, because these are raw edges, so you either have to zigzag or blanket stitch it down. Now for the borders, I used a fat pack for this, and you can use anything you want, but one fat pack then, and I just picked some light, real light white on white here background, and I sewed this on and did this in the middle, and then I had all of these pieces of the fat quarters left, and so I simply cut what I had, and I did 2.5 inch strips, and I mitered them together. So I had a long strip of 2.5s, and then I did 1.5s, and then I did 3.5 inch strips. So you just put those on randomly, however it ends up. One fat quarter pack, you end up with this really cute table topper. Now for cutting the center, once you get this done, ha! I have this great big ruler, so what did I do? I just decided to cut my square that big. That's simple as it can be. Mark the center, and that's where the center of my Dresdan went. So I hope you've enjoyed this segment of Quilting Quickies here at Pine Needles Quilt and Sew. We look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks on Monday morning. And as time goes by, not this month, but next month, we're going to have some more variations on different size of Dresdan plates. So thanks for coming and listening to this, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.